We go live as soon as the show
The
ends.
second it's over.
So I leave the telecast, my hotel room, walk to set. Thank God it's like not that far to get mic'd. But I'm on my phone and normally have an assistant being like, well, what's going on during the ceremony? And then I sit in the E-chair and we watch the rest of the show, which is the two biggest best actor, best actress, best picture.
You're missing that.
You're watching it right then, and then it ends and they're like, okay, we're live.
You got the golden ticket.
Hi guys, welcome back to another episode of Plus One. Today we have Naz Perez joining us. Let me go through your journey for a second because you have so much that you've done over the years. Previously, you were a producer for The Bachelor.
Yes.
You worked on the Ellen DeGeneres show.
Yes.
You were a host for the Dodgers. That's where we met.
Yeah.
You've hosted so many carpets and events for E. We're going to get into that. And now you're a culture conversationalist.
Cultural conversationalist.
There it is.
Yes,
I like
I've
it.
rebranded.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like the branding.
You like it?
But you guys, we used to host for the Dodgers together.
I
So
know.
this is really funny. I feel like we've been through so much together, but like also at a distance here and there.
Yeah, because we were just talking about before the camera started rolling how we only hosted one game together at Dodgers.
Yeah.
And it has been so inspiring to watch your journey.
Stop.
Because you really went from like being a host and making that transition into being a content creator like so seamless, which is something that you know that I struggle with and that a lot of people struggle with. And so, yeah, it's really nice like finally be able to sit down and catch up.
Right.
I feel like we've been so busy that we haven't like sat down and just done it.
I know. We've definitely needed to. And it's interesting that you point that out, like the transition from host to content creator, because we kind of have, like we have to in this career now, which is not how it originally started out. I think it's the same for you, and I want to hear a little bit about your background in a sec, but for me, just so that you're aware, like I studied in college, I studied broadcast journalism, and at the time, digital wasn't as big of a deal. It was like I was pitching that concept to companies still.
Right.
But do you remember hearing from a lot of other people, they'd be like, there's two routes. You either start off as a producer in a major market and then you work your way to becoming an on-camera talent, which is what you did.
Yeah.
Or you go to a small market as a host and then you work your way up over to a big market. Do you remember hearing the same thing?
Yeah, so I majored in broadcast journalism at UCF in Central Florida, and then the professors there they weren't even behind entertainment.
Oh.
I was like, I'm going to be an entertainment reporter. They're like,
Yeah.
no, you have to move to Waco, Texas, and you have to like cover murders
News,
and
yeah.
fires. And I like did all these internships, and I was like, I don't want to do that.
No.
I want to go into sports. I originally wanted to go into sports, which is like, it's
Yeah,
funny
we
that you
literally
and I
had the
met
same
at
thought.
Dodgers. I was like, I'm going to be the next Doris Burke. I love the NBA. I wanted to be a sideline reporter. I was next to LeBron when he got his first ring, and then I was asked, because I was a runner for NBA, and they asked me to leave the locker room because I was a woman. And last minute, but right before graduating, I decided to really go all in on entertainment when I saw Juliana Rancic's True Hollywood Story. She was like the main host on E! With Ryan Seacrest, and I was like, that's what I want to do. And yeah, I just carved out my own path, and I just started producing and worked my way up. But it actually is really hard to go from behind the scenes to in front of the camera. I thought that I was like, I'm just going to do that to get an entertainment. And I didn't actually realize that is really hard. But it's because I didn't want to like wait on tables and go to auditions, which is fine to do. I just like didn't want to do that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's what I've noticed. It's like once people see you in a certain light, then it's really hard for them to turn that off and see you in front of the camera at that point. They're like, we're so used to her. She's so great behind the camera. Did you notice that yourself with other people?
Yeah, so it was wild because I don't know if you know this, but my first paid on-camera hosting gig, aside from like one red carpet gig I did with the Style Network for the ESPYs, but then the Style Network got canceled, was the Dodgers.
Yeah, I remember hearing you say that before.
So I was a
Insane.
producer on Bachelor. I had, produced at Ellen and Eli from the red carpet. I ended up being Ryan and Juliana's like PA. We all got laid off there, worked on Bachelor. And then I was like, I want to be a host. So if I don't quit and give it a shot now, like it's never going to happen for me. So I quit, had nothing lined up. And I was like, I just need one hosting job on my resume that pays me. And it was Dodgers.
No, like unreal. That doesn't
Thank
happen for
God.
people. Did you have to audition?
I did have to audition,
Okay.
and I'm like one of the only Dominicans that didn't really watch baseball, which is like so like I feel like I would get so trolled for saying that, like my
Right.
family, because I
I'll
was
cut
like
that
such
part
an
out.
NBA girly. I like loved NBA, I loved style, But yeah, I auditioned and I crushed the audition, and then Dodgers was sort of my gateway into like hosting. But when I tried to get on E, like then I was hosting on Clever, this YouTube channel.
Oh,
I would try to be on camera at E, and heard multiple times, no, you were a producer here. You're never going to be on camera here. And then eventually broke through that years later, thank God. But yeah, I heard that all the time.
You are like deadass the only person that I've really seen be able to make that transition. Like it is so rare to come across people who do that. It's so hard. And even now we're seeing like this long time debate, not long time, it's only been a couple years we're starting to see content creators that are taking the carpet.
Yeah.
And journalists don't really love that. Like even Kelty has come out.
Oh my God, I know.
Did you watch that podcast?
Well, what's interesting is that I feel like there's a swing. You know how like everything swings?
Yeah, of
it's
course.
like we got so politically correct.
Yeah.
And now we have movies coming out like Scream again, you know, and like the Borats of the world, which like aren't as politically correct.
Yeah.
So it's funny. I feel like we swung so hard to like going with content creators, which it's not bad to be a content creator. I think people were just so upset that like they spent years studying, you know, like to be a journalist, to be like, I spent years trying to get in the Critics' Choice Association. I'm in the CCA, like I review films, all this stuff. And so, yeah, I think there was a lot of bitterness between journalists when you were just like, sorry, you don't have like a huge following. We're just going to go with this content creator to cover the carpet now. Because I think a lot of us were like, well, we can make things entertaining and funny, but it just wasn't like that before. And I was definitely one of those people, like Kelty. I was like, the red carpet's being so disrespected, And now I've really loosened up because I am a content creator as well. And like, we can all be all of it. And I really actually liked what she said. I think it's like, if you're going to get a hosting job, whoever it is, I think just like do the prep and do the work and 100%. Have reverence for the job. Because it's a hard job that a lot of people worked really hard to get, you know?
I feel like there's been a lot of debate over the past couple of years. Like at one point, Addison Rae was covering, I want to say, boxing. This was years ago. People got mad at her for covering sports in any way, shape, or form, even though she went to school for sports broadcasting.
No way, I didn't know that about Addison
She
Rae.
only went for like a semester, so like it doesn't even fully count.
But still, she like had an interest in it. She studied it. Wow,
that was her original intention. And then all of this obviously came to me, and she got so much hate when the news came out. She was out there covering like some sort of a press conference. They removed her from it. She was like, okay, well, you guys got what you wanted. Like, I'm no longer covering it.
Wow.
And in my opinion, I bring this example up a lot because I'm like, I was never going to get that job. You were never going to get that job. Maybe like now with where we're at.
Yeah.
But at the time, an actual journalist was never going to get that job. Like they wanted an influencer with that job. They wanted her followers.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
So there's definitely time and place for that. But I think for me, the way I view it is similar to what Kelty said in that moment, which is just do your research.
Yeah.
Because you've probably seen so many clips.
Right.
Where
people just like don't even know what the people are nominated for.
Yeah.
I think there's a balance, right? Because I also want to like back up the content creating community.
Absolutely.
Because I do think it's better when you're just having a conversation.
When it's natural.
When it's natural and when you're not ping-ponging like and a lot of journalists and a lot of the industry, I have to say, was very gotcha journalism.
I hated it.
It was disgusting. I'm actually, I don't know if I told you, I'm coming out with a course on like how to curate a killer interview that's launching next month. And I talk a lot about this in my course, how like a lot of the entertainment journalism industry energy was like, we got to get this headline.
It was kind of ugly.
And it's gross. Like I was never like that. There's a lot of journalists that weren't like that. And so in my head, I was always like, it doesn't need to be that way. And I understand why we swung to people that are just having fun, because that's what people at home want.
Yeah.
You just want, but it's like, you can also have fun and talk about how they got into character and why the film is impactful and culturally relevant.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
like, one battle after another. As a Latina, it's like, this is literally what's happening in our country right now. Mm-hmm. You can like joke with Leo, you know, about age and who he's dating. And you can also talk about like how important the film is at the same time.
That's the thing.
And people are complex like that. Like we're not just like one or the other.
Yeah. And I think most recently with this past Oscars at the Vanity Fair after party, for example, like Jake Shane, Quenlin, and Brittany Broski were there. I don't know if you watched because it was while you were also hosting.
I saw some of their clips online.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
well, how did they do? Did you like it?
I thought they were really fun.
Great.
And they brought a different approach than what we've seen in the past.
Great.
Although it was kind of similar to like the energy that Paige DeSorbo and Hannah Berner brought last year, I want to say it was.
Yeah.
When they covered the same event. Brittany Broski, for example, though, she knows her shit. She watches the movies.
Right.
And Jake Shane even, I only fully saw the clips. I didn't watch the entire 2 hour, however long it was.
Yeah.
I didn't watch the full episode of it. But I thought they learned from previous examples and actually studied for this event.
I love Jake. I mean, I've never met him. I've like seen him outside the Erewhon in Beverly Hills and stuff when I drive by. But like he did an interview with Rolling Stone at South by Southwest where he's like, I'm not a journalist, you know? And so, but the Vanity Fair party is a perfect example of like, that's where I want to watch an influencer like shoot the shit with somebody.
Yeah, exactly.
Do you know what I mean?
Exactly.
I think the bitterness and sort of like butthurtedness from a lot of journalists, I can only speak for myself, was like having people be on the ABC live stream.
Like, what are we
Do you remember
doing?
years ago when someone didn't even know that Rihanna, which is actually how you pronounce her name, but Rihanna was performing?
No.
Right? Or was it Rihanna? Or
no.
there was someone performing.
But
now
like,
I'm getting it wrong.
Whatever.
Like it was really bad.
Yeah.
And I was like, whoa, ABC is who televises the Oscars.
Yeah.
What
You
is
have to
this
know this.
saying? You know what I mean? Like that audience is probably middle America, 50 plus. Like, come on, you know?
Yeah, I completely agree. I actually think like the perfect way for us to go about it, like I literally have this formula in my head at this point to where they should have someone who is like, who's a journalist who's been doing this for years, have them as the A person in the same way that when you're watching a sports game, there's a play-by-play, there's a color commentator, there might be a personality, there's a sports
you have all of them on the
there's
panel.
all these different people that are all coming together for a full broadcast. And I feel like even the after party and their live streams tend to do stuff like this where they have different personalities who all bring something different to the table.
Yes.
But that's what these companies have to do if they're going to continue to work with influencers.
But the thing is that now anyone can be an interviewer, which is why I shot this course where I'm like, okay, no one's gonna like go to school now because it's like, what do you even need college for these days? Like,
at this
I literally don't believe in it. I mean, I think people should go and just rush in Greek life. I think that's like an incredible.
It was so much fun.
An incredible American experience. It's like so unique to our country, and like I partied and I had the best time at UCF. Did I actually need my broadcast journalism degree? I don't know, but like I did work my way up in terms of interning and like work my way up the ladder in Hollywood. But I think I wrote this course because no one's gonna like go to school for it. So it's like if you're a content creator, take my course or learn from people who have done the, studied, educated, like textbook work in terms of like how to conduct an interview and then infuse your personality in it. But I love what you said about the e-panel because it's true. It's like, I can come in as a critic and a personality, right? And as a cultural conversationalist. And then Justin is like hilarious.
Oh my
God.
Not
only is he an
much.
impeccable host, but he's like such a comedian.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah.
you have like a mix of like people that just want fun and just are like, why was she wearing that?
Yeah.
And then you have people tuning in that are like, well, I want to know how many Academy Awards Sean Penn had, you know?
Exactly. They have the facts to them. Right. So Naz hosted the E after party, but you've also, you've done this before where you've previously hosted for E for the Oscars.
Yeah.
To me, I just feel like, holy shit, how are you not shaking the entire time? Are you?
You're so funny. Well, I don't know if I've ever said this, like recorded this, but a lot of people who like have followed my journey, I used to be on E for like 3 years. I was like one of the main hosts for E. There was like a pre-show before the red carpet, right? Where we talk about nominees and stuff and who we think is going to win. And then there was E live from the red carpet, right? Where the interview's live, but then they're also kicking back in between the panel and the live red carpet. And then people watch the award show and then they come back to E for the after party.
Right.
But I was doing that for 3 years and I loved it. And then they went in a direction where it was like more influencers, more, having people who were the Bachelorette come in instead of me and like housewives. And E recently sold to another company, so I'm really happy to be back.
Hell
and it was like really, really nice being back because it's something I really love hosting and love doing. And you know that I'm like obsessed with movies.
Yeah.
But I say that all to say, because you asked me if I get nervous. I do think, and you and I were joking about, like, I made you rehearse in the one game that we did together with Dodgers. And it's because I historically have struggled with debilitating anxiety, which is just so funny because I'm on camera and I had to do like 2 years of EMDR and like all this stuff.
Oh my God, I went through the same thing.
Let's talk about it. So yes, before when I was on E, I had a lot of anxiety and thank God I would still perform at a really high level and do well. But I can confidently say that now I'm having way more fun doing it. And because it's not in the driver's seat, you know, and I feel really grounded and confident in my abilities as a host.
And do you understand that I realize that? Like, me just being someone who's looked up to you and watched you, it's like I recognize that within you.
Wow.
At what point did you notice your confidence shifting in your skill set?
I had to lose everything.
Yeah.
Yeah. I feel like I was like that bitch. I remember like 2023, I was, you know, the host for Fandango and Rotten Tomatoes.
Yeah.
I was like a favorite to host a lot of the exclusive, huge blockbuster films. Like I did the first interview for Barbie, the first interview for Dune. I had access to actors before the junket for like 20 minutes. I would. That's where I really refined my craft and became a cultural conversationalist, because I got to like really be live with these actors and curate cultural conversations around huge movies. And then I was also on E. I was a contributor on the Today Show, which I still kind of do on my own. And I had a podcast called I Don't Get It. And when I didn't get my contract renewed with Fandango on Rotten Tomatoes, I went through like a massive ego death. It was like really depressing. I also never spoke to anyone from the company after building the brand for like 6 years, which is an excruciating pain that I know. I wrote a Substack about it, and a lot of people in our country go through that who aren't even in entertainment, where you give your life to this company. And it was really hard because I love that job and I love the people I work with, and I have nothing bad to say about the opportunity that it gave me, and it really groomed me to be who I am. But Jess, I literally had to lose everything and not work, I think, for almost an entire year. Like, blew through my savings, went on like a massive healing journey, like humbling ego death, to then realize, oh my God, I don't need any of this. Like, I love who I am without being the girl on the red carpet. I love who I am without all of this. And so when I learned to love who I am without all of it, and I was like, I don't need it, you get to like show up to set now in such a like more relaxed way, where I was like, I don't need this. Like, this is just fun for me now.
Yeah.
And so I think the universe took away all those things from me, because ultimately it wasn't Fandango on Rotten Tomatoes. I believe we create everything. I created that reality. That was like all me. You know what I mean? So I created that leaving my life in order to now be able to do it and have a lot of fun doing it.
Yeah, you almost like force yourself into this anxious little bubble because you put so much pressure in it, behind it, in every part of it. Because I, similarly to you, I remember like when I got the Dodgers gig, thinking it was the highest position I would ever get in my entire life.
Wow, really? You thought that?
I mean, at the time, the goal on my vision board was Alana Rizzo.
No way.
So then I got an email like minutes after I pasted that picture of her on there. So I'm sitting there thinking, well, now what's next? What the hell am I going to do from here?
Wait, so I want to know more about your story. So because for people watching that don't know, Alana Rizzo was the main broadcast host for Dodgers on television. You and I were in stadium hosts, so we were just on, they don't like for us to call it the Jumbotron, but for people at home, it's the Jumbotron. It's Dodger Vision there. But like so you were obviously hosting alongside me as an in-stadium host. What was that, 6 years ago now? Like, that's crazy.
2019 I think was the first year that I started.
Did? Okay, I think it was
when did you
2018, a little bit before you, not that long. So then you were an in-stadium host there. So what made you not want to be Alana Rizzo anymore?
I think I worked in sports a few years after that, and I always knew I wanted to transition into entertainment at one point.
Oh, okay, so you did always want to do entertainment.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
I think I just really battled with it because, like, my family, for example, they love sports.
Wow.
So I think in my head, I was like, well, doing sports would kind of make them happy. You know what I mean?
Wow.
But like deep down inside, I was like, obsessed with entertainment and I wanted to learn more about it. But if
Wow.
and you probably know this from your time in sports as well, but like if you're doing both of those, you don't have time to be able to fully put towards covering sports, watching every
it's a
nominated
lot.
movie.
I mean, pop culture is a lot on its own.
Yeah, exactly.
But one thing you've been really good at, and one thing that I learned early on in college, because I actually minored in sport business management, because I told you I wanted to work in the NBA originally before I saw E! True Hollywood Story. So one thing that I learned really early on that I feel like a lot of people still don't get is that sports is entertainment.
Exactly.
And I think a lot of people look at them as these two separate verticals, and I have never looked at it that way. I was one of the first people with a WordPress blog covering what athletes were wearing.
Oh my God,
like the
I
style.
love
Before
that.
Complex, when
Yeah.
it was called sidelinestyles.com, I would cover what Kobe and LeBron were wearing, and I would be like, who wore it best? Like, it is the same thing, and it is the reason why Visa hired me to interview players at the Super Bowl when I don't even know anything about football or NFL. And so I think if anyone's like an up and coming wanting to be interviewer, interlocutor, conversationalist, like they should look at sports and entertainment as the same thing. But you're absolutely right in terms of like covering it. It's a lot.
It's a lot. Yeah. And I think maybe you agree with this as well, but when it comes to studying sports originally, I think that really helped with now covering entertainment, because in entertainment, if I were first brought up in that and then tried to shimmy over to sports, I don't think it ever would have worked out. Because in sports, you have to be factual the whole time.
Yeah.
You really have to study your shit.
You cannot get one athlete's last name
Especially
wrong.
as a girl.
Especially as a woman, because that's why I decided not to go into sports.
Literally that.
I was like, if I say Sal Talamacchia wrong, which is a real last name of a real player, like I would be in the live truck running tapes as a PA for Fox Sports Florida. I worked for ESPNU, NBA Entertainment. And I, back in 2012 when I was graduating, people would be on Twitter like literally shitting on women talking about sports, and I was like, I don't want this. I'd rather be in like a ball gown and glam on a red carpet talking to Steven Spielberg.
And if I study on Spielberg, then people won't. If I stutter on Spielberg, then people will be like, okay, it's totally fine. Like they'll keep going.
Isn't that so
fascinating? For the story.
Yeah, because women were just more sort of accepted in that space. I think it is there now for women in sports, but I definitely think when you and I were coming up, it was still hard.
It was a part of the transitional period, I think, of sports. And that's still when they were figuring out the digital world and all of that. But now, I think they're all starting to become a little more open to the conversation. But I do want to talk about the after party that you hosted. Yay. I watched it. I loved it. You did a great job. How did you feel in looking back at it?
I feel really good about it. Good. I mean, but people don't know about live. Like, it was a really anxious week for me. Like I had and it was just, there's just so much that goes into being live. Like I'm no longer working with a makeup artist who I really loved working with. We just like weren't a fit leading up, so I had to find a new makeup artist.
Stressful.
I had an assistant, which normally helps. I need an assistant that day because I basically do as much prep as I can in terms of film and in terms of actors and nominees. And not only that, the after party has a camera at the Governor's Ball and at the Vanity Fair Oscar party. And they have a departure camera on top of Ripley's Believe It or Not. So not only do I have to know about everyone who's like nominated at the Oscars, because it's live. There's no script, so people don't know that. We're building a plane while flying it.
Yeah.
They could be like, okay, now we're gonna go to the Vanity Fair Oscar party and we're gonna show, Hudson Williams. If you didn't watch Heated Rivalry, like you have nothing to say. You're screwed. So I have to know not only about Oscars, but about everyone. So the 2 weeks leading up, I prep a lot. But on top of that, E is a fashion network, which is why I love E, because I get to mix my love and knowledge of fashion with my love and knowledge of film. But so the day of, I have to know who everyone's wearing. But I can't watch the show. When I'm watching the show, I'm in glam. So I'm having eyelashes glued to my eye. I'm like, have a blow dryer that's really loud. I'm putting the volume up to hear the monologue, because I'm going to have to potentially talk about Conan's monologue while the blow dryer is going like this, while eyelashes are going in my eye. And so I need an assistant to the right on social media being like, who is Rose Byrne wearing? I need to know, and what is the story behind Tiana Taylor's look? Because I'm also going to have to talk about fashion when nothing's going on.
Yeah.
So my assistant helps me do that. My assistant got sick the night before. So I had no assistant, a new makeup artist, And thank God E gives us like a handler, and I shout out to Chan. I call her Chandler the handler. She's amazing, and she's been a handler for me in the past, and she really showed up for me in a lot of ways. But it's tough because I'm like on my phone watching the show, taking notes. The producer's asking you what are your favorite moments so they can clip it off and put it in the show, and then you also have to get dressed and get content.
Yeah,
so it's like it's an actually like insane experience. I should totally have a camera follow me. Like,
no, you need to. That's all I was picturing. I was like, I wanted to hear the behind the scenes.
No idea.
No clue. I mean,
you're also getting ready because we go live as soon as the show ends.
The second it's over.
So I leave the telecast, my hotel room, walk to set. Thank God it's like not that far to get mic'd. But I'm on my phone and normally have an assistant being like, well, what's going on during the ceremony? And then I sit in the E chair and we watch the rest of the show, which is the two biggest best actor, best actress, best picture.
You're missing that.
You're watching it right then. And then it ends and they're like, okay, we're live. And then they tell you in your ear, we're going to start with this. And you just have to be ready to talk about it. So it is, I love it because I thrive in those situations, but it is a high performance, high octane, you have to be, I'm talking so much. I'm going to let you talk. I'm sorry about that.
No, I want to hear it.
But my favorite quote in the world for anyone that knows Stoicism, I think Marcus Aurelius said it, but it's in this book called The Obstacle is the Way by Ryan Holiday, who a lot of people know. But it's panic in space is suicide. And I always remember that. I like kind of want to get like a tattoo because I love space. Mm-hmm. Panic in space is suicide. If you're an astronaut and you panic in space, you will 100% die. And being on live television is the exact same way. It's not like being a content creator at home where you get to shoot it again and shoot it again. And we live in a culture that cancels people.
Yeah.
So if you say anything, and you know when you talk with your friends, sometimes you say things, you're like, wait, I didn't mean that.
Yeah, yeah.
You have to be you have the balance of being so relaxed and comfortable, like, oh, you're just shooting the shit with your friends.
Right.
But also like, you need to not say anything that's like
you can't be the story.
Or I will not get hired again.
Exactly.
Isn't that insane? Like,
no, it's so hard.
I'm an astronaut.
Like, I'm an
like
astronaut.
you cannot panic.
You have like 6 streams of consciousness going through your brain all at the same time, and you're trying to pick the correct one and not flub, but then also not say anything that could get you canceled, but then also remember the facts, but then also have a personality.
And then also, like, when you're talking fashion, you know, back in the day when I worked at E behind the scenes, it was at the height of Fashion Police. Joan Rivers was alive. Ugh. If people don't know who Joan Rivers is, that's what the character Hacks is based off of.
She's
on
too
HBO.
young for you, babe. If she doesn't.
Joan was like this very like politically incorrect, like hilarious, you know, comedian.
Such an icon.
She hosted Fashion Police, and also it was an era where you could say, who are you wearing? And people cared about that. And then again, the pendulum swung when I was on camera at E a couple of years ago, and you had to ask, like, what's the story behind your look, you know? Because it couldn't be about designers. Everyone felt like everything was very vapid. So when you're talking about fashion, you can't really knock someone's look in the same way you did before, even if you don't like it, which is so weird, Jess, because on social you can. And on social, you get a good following if you're like, hate it, loved it. Like, I don't know what that guy's name is. He's incredible.
I know, and he was with
him.
E.
Was he on E?
Nikki, I want to say.
What's his name?
He was during the
No way,
pre-show.
he was on the Day Show?
Nikki, what is it? I'll literally look it up. Nikki Bell? Am I naming someone else right now?
Isn't that so funny how like I was so like locked in my own prep, I didn't know who E had.
Okay, but we love him.
Shows.
Oh yeah, no, but that makes sense. You have a lot going on at the time.
But this is what's really fascinating.
This guy?
No, not Nikki
okay.
Campbell.
Well, this is another
I'm thinking of someone else. But yes, there's all these like incredible, I'm very curious, how did he do? Because he probably couldn't talk shit about outfits on broadcast television.
Yeah, so he's been getting a couple of opportunities. I know when I covered the Actor Awards actually last year, I think might have been one of the first times that he was invited to cover something.
Yeah.
I want to say he was there with Netflix last year, but I was curious about the same thing because this is someone who kind of roasts people, but will also give you your flowers.
Yeah.
And so in the moment, people will run up to him and say, roast me. Like they want him to be. Oh,
that's really cool.
Yeah.
See, and I think that's where a lot of people that came up like me get caught in the crosshairs, right? Because if you're someone like me, I get hired because I can be playful and polished.
Yeah.
Right? And so, but then people don't know that I can also shoot the shit because I've never been hired to do that before.
Exactly.
But if I do it on my social then I'm that girl, and then I no longer get the play. So it's like, I don't think people understand like the unique position, because none of my friends work in entertainment, thank God. Like I have I mean, I have friends that work in entertainment. That's a lie. But I'm saying,
I'm telling them, oh my God.
I know, that's so fucked up I said that. A lot of my
Selena
close
Gomez
friends,
moment right here. My only friend in the industry,
oh my God,
Taylor
I know,
Swift.
that's horrible. That's so horrible. That is so not true. I have so many friends in the entertainment industry. What I meant to say is, and thank God we're not live, what I meant to say, well, you can keep that in, is most of my friends don't understand the world we work in, you know?
Yeah,
and so they're like,
not.
just talk about things on camera. Just do it. Like, just do something on your phone. And I'm
you
like,
could talk about anything.
I'm like,
whatever.
I don't think people understand the unique sort of like
struggle that
because
you
I'm
have
still
now.
kind of in this old world that is dying, and it doesn't mean Hollywood's dying. It means things and structures are dying so that new things can be reborn. Access Hollywood is off the air now after 30 years. Like, for example, but the new thing isn't fully here yet. It's like kind of here. So you have people that are still getting hired in both, like me, where it's like, well, what do you, and it's up to me to fully commit. And that's why I'm really inspired by you, because you are really someone who, like, I remember when I saw you at Met Gala at that Meta party. Was it the Meta party?
Yeah.
Cover? I can't remember.
It was Meta, yeah.
I
That's
had
who sent me
covered
out
Met
there.
Gala for Hollywood Reporter that year, because I wasn't on E anymore because they were using other people. And I was like, wow, Jess is fucking doing it. Because you really made the perfect transition from being like a journalist and being a content creator.
Yeah, and you know, it wasn't something that I wanted to do, and I still kind of struggle with figuring out how to like introduce myself.
But you're doing it.
Thank
like you're
you.
here right now, you're doing it, you're taking the time. How has it been for you? Like, are you making money? I feel like that's really important to talk about, because what people don't realize is that it actually takes a lot of time and energy of you not getting paid.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
That's the thing. Okay, so also with our, you know, what else takes energy is editing, and that's something that I know that you also
I will not do.
Oh, but didn't
I
you?
have a team. Well, I do. That's not true.
You have to give notes and stuff.
That's not
even,
true.
though.
I did for 3 months edit my old interviews, but so I did edit a lot of social content.
Yeah.
But in terms of like a big show like this, like, you do have to give notes to an editing team.
Yeah.
I have used editing teams before too.
Yeah, so for me, for the most part, I edit all of my shit on my own, which is...
Oh my God, Jess, that takes hours.
Yeah, and it also takes away from your creativity and just
because
like...
that's not your zone of genius.
No, and I'm disgusted by the thought of editing. I hate it every day. It will be the reason why I don't post things.
But I'm
doing it. And
I'm so proud of you. I can't do that. I struggle with it.
Yeah, and
because
I get it.
I'm used to having, I think it was really hard to go from a company that's doing everything for you.
Yeah.
Where all I had to do is, one, I got paid really well, and all I had to do was show up and work on the thing that brought me the most life, and that was my zone of genius, which is crafting the conversation. And when I can put all my energy into that, I can make it so
You're
good.
thriving when
and
you
you're
can do
a team,
that,
right? You're like, and then you have a good editor that's clipping it really well, and then all the cooperative components are in place. When you're doing all of it, you're right. You get drained from the thing when you're doing the thing that doesn't light you up. And
then you don't have the time to put, or the mental capacity to put towards what you actually love anymore,
what you're
which
really
is so
good at.
hard. Yeah. It's such a battle. I am to the point now where I'm making a majority of my money from content creation. Thank you so much.
Great. That's
also
amazing.
hosting, and I have a salary from SiriusXM. So that's where I was able to be like, okay, now I have a salary that I could live off of from them, but now I'm able to actually live and like do more with the brand deals.
And that's so
else.
important when you have that sort of retainer or salary coming in that allows you to be creatively free, which a lot of people don't have that luxury, you know?
Yeah.
Who are like freelance and trying to make it. So I'm really proud of you. That's really good.
Yeah, thank you so much. It's definitely a struggle in being a freelance host. I mean, you're going through the exact same thing in your career, and like it's kind of the movement that the entertainment hosting space is making at this point. Like they've chosen to not really have. You look at Entertainment Tonight and E! News. I would say Variety, throw them in there.
Is E! News still happening?
You're right, not E! News, just
E!
E!
News doesn't
just
exist
E!
anymore.
as a whole.
So I think E's just doing the award shows now, right?
Yeah.
Or do they have isn't that so sad? It was like Anya. I don't
right?
even know.
I know, I'm literally
even know.
but they have like the same people that they rotate through.
Yeah, like they have the host. Oh, that's not Aaron. Aaron does go in every day because I got to host
yeah,
with
that's
Erin
right.
Lim for the first time, and I'm obsessed with her.
Isn't she great?
She's amazing.
I've
And
never
obviously,
hosted with her,
Erin
but-
and I have been so parallel for so many years. And
that was the cool part of seeing you guys together.
Yeah,
actually.
it was really cool. It was our first time hosting together. She's so lovely to work with. And as you know, as a host, you just never know.
Yeah, of course.
When you're coming into something, what someone's energy is going to be like. And she's so warm, so welcoming.
Yeah,
incredible host.
You know, in coming up with other hosts around you, like we like attention too. We like to put on our personalities and like kind of in a way show off when we're hosting something, because you have to show off either your knowledge, your outfit, your personality, whatever it is. Like in a way you're showing up and showing out, and so you're amongst other people and your peers who are also similar in that way.
Right.
But seeing the way that you guys had just like a great chemistry was a really fun thing to watch. It was probably really cool for you to, for the first time, be able to host with Aaron.
It was.
Be back
really
with
cool.
Justin.
I love
right?
Justin. Yeah, Justin and I have done after party for so long.
Yeah.
And now that I told you I'm a little more grounded and like steady in, I feel like I'm more in the moment and I'm more witnessing his genius.
Yeah.
Because I think back in the day, I was like more in my head, you know, like especially when you're live, you're like, what am I going to say next? I don't want to fuck this up.
Right.
But now I'm so in the moment and I'm like, Justin Sylvester is fucking hilarious.
He is.
And I always knew
really
he was
is.
funny, but now that, and it's really fun. I think him and I have a really playful banter that I personally, I can only speak for myself, really enjoy. I don't know.
You said
I think
from one
Justin
end.
loves me. I don't know who actually, you never really know how anyone feels about you.
Right.
But it's really fun to like, you know, when I was talking about Jessie Buckley and how for Hamnet, she won Best Actress.
Yeah.
I was like, you know, Jessie Buckley lived in a shepherd's hut for this role.
yeah.
And he's like, I feel like people lie when they say that. So I think it's like a really fun banter where it's like I'm able to offer the knowledge and then he kind of takes it and like says what a lot of people would be thinking at home.
Exactly.
And
He's like the
great.
personality. It's so
He's
but
so
he's
funny.
so knowledgeable. I think
he's
like
knowledgeable too. For
our
sure.
generation's Ryan Seacrest or Juliana Rancic
Wow,
or both. I don't know.
I love that you said that about him. I agree.
Yeah.
I don't think he gets enough flowers.
He doesn't.
Yeah.
And it's because it's so saturated now, I think,
You
with
think?
so many.
I also feel like Justin just needs his own show. Does he have his own show? And I just don't know.
I know he has a podcast.
Because Scott Evans is crushing.
Yeah.
I don't know Scott personally. Him and I have danced together at a Spotify party earlier this year. I love him. Like we kind of
do
see
I.
each other. It's like a very ancillary, like if I see him when we're covering
Yeah,
a movie,
yeah.
but I don't know him personally. But I will say I saw an interview clip that he did this morning. It was posted. He went on someone's podcast. And he had his own show going for a while now while being on Access Hollywood. And now that Access is gone, he really set himself up for success.
yeah, that's how you do it.
He built his own thing. And I really wish that while I was at Fending on Rotten Tomatoes, I had built my own
Yeah,
thing.
but again, you can only do so much. Like you're a
Yeah.
human being, you know, you're being
I know. I
pulled
would
in.
totally.
So
I agree.
okay, I want to go through some of the winners
Oscar stuff. Okay,
from
yay.
the Oscars.
I love talking film. You know, I'm like such a
I'm
nerd,
so excited to also hear your opinion, because I'm not gonna lie, pretty much everyone I thought was gonna win kind of won.
Yeah.
So to me, it was
I thought
like,
Timmy was gonna win Best Actor.
that's what I was wondering. See, okay, so
Yeah.
I think the two that were like really up for debate were Best
Picture
Actor
and Best Actor.
Well, then let's say 3, because actually supporting actress, I thought
Okay.
could have gone a few different ways.
Really?
Yeah.
Who do you think was gonna win supporting?
I thought Amy.
I guess it could have went to Tiana. A lot of them were tight races.
They were. I also was really hoping for Wunmi.
Wumi Musaku, she's
Yeah.
incredible.
She's so good.
You're right. Actually, to be honest, a lot of things was up in a lot. It was really Sinners versus One Battle After Another.
That's
the
all
whole
it was.
night, because it could have went to Ryan Coogler too for Best Director.
Yeah.
It really could have.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah, when you're going down the list. Okay, so for Best Picture, did
Yeah.
you originally think One Battle was going to win?
I knew One Battle After Another was going to win because it won the PGA.
Yeah.
It won the BAFTA, the PGA, and the DGA. And the PGA is the biggest indicator of Best Picture.
Right.
And I said this on E, but I just feel like it was just like a coronation from the Academy for Paul Thomas Anderson in terms of like, this is a guy that gave us movies like Magnolia, Boogie Nights, like There Will Be Blood.
Yeah.
Like, it was like when Scorsese gave us Taxi Driver, Raging Bull, Goodfellas, but he hadn't won a Best Directing Oscar or like Best Picture, and then he won Best Director for The Departed. So
Yeah.
I think it was I think it was Paul Thomas Anderson's to win, and I also think just with everything going on with ICE and all the stuff, it was just really culturally urgent.
Yeah, it was like
in
the story
moment.
of the year.
But I gotta say, as a Latina, I was kind of annoyed that like every award they got, which was a lot this award season, I didn't feel like they talked about that as much.
I didn't actually hear that storyline hardly
and that
ever.
was kind of really interesting to me. I don't know if that was like a specific choice, but I would have liked it if like one award they would have like mentioned.
You're saying
it.
even PTA didn't mention it.
Yeah, like I don't remember. And granted, I didn't watch BAFTAs. I didn't watch all of them, but he didn't talk about it at the Globes. I don't think he talked about it at
I literally
Oscars,
never heard
unless
him
the blow
say it.
dryer was. And isn't that interesting? That
Unless the blow dryer.
Unless there's a fucking blow dryer in my ear. I will never get it. Never, if you're going to be live, get a blowout. Like, I was like, why did I pick this hairstyle? That was so stupid. My job is literally to watch the show, and it was like,
I can't hear shit. Captions, please.
I put the captions on, and they were like slow. And like, you don't want to read captions. You want in the moment reactions. You want to hear if people are laughing at Conan's joke. Like, those are the nuances that I need to know.
Yeah.
So me and Brian Mendez, who's been like my makeup artist and he does my hair for so long, he was just like, never again. We just didn't know. We hadn't done a blowout before.
So we'll be seeing a different look from Naz next year.
Which is so funny because I only wear my hair down.
That's exactly what I was thinking. I'm like, what are you going to do? Wear your hair up?
Because I hate my ears. I don't think I've ever said
That's
that.
why.
Yeah.
You know,
people are like, change your fucking hair. I'm like, I will never change my hair. I don't like my ears out.
well, you have great toes, so you can't have them all.
Thank you. My ears really aren't that bad. But yeah, I do need my Wiki Feet score to go up.
Yeah,
I
she's
gotta
helping
show some
us.
soles. Apparently, the feet fetish people like the soles.
Oh my God, Naz, they have to pay for this. This is insane.
For free on your podcast.
I hate feet, so I actually have to look away
No
while
way.
you're doing it.
Have you ever had someone suck your toes?
No.
Okay, so
Have you?
I hated feet. I thought they were so disgusting, gross. Hooked up with a guy who had a foot fetish and was like, would you be down if and I was like, I don't know. And then I'm so like, let's try anything once, you know? And it was so arousing when he had his tongue between my big toe and the other. I was like, how did I never know about this?
So now
it
every
feels
guy
like
after
a
them?
straight shot to down there.
Shut up.
It's weird. It's like a button.
Now you're gonna make me want to go home.
It's crazy. I get.
There's
DMs
only one
about-
person who's gonna be doing.
I mean, just try it. Just try it. You can't knock something until you try it.
Did you scrub your feet before?
It's so what's so fascinating is no, because I had never. It was in the moment. We were on a date. Then we were on my couch, and he was like, so I have this thing. And he had been thinking about my feet for a while because he saw me recreate the Barbie trailer years prior on Instagram.
God.
So I didn't know that. And so he explains to me as a foot fetish. So I was like, okay, let's try it. And I went to get off the couch to, we're like, let's go to the bed for this. And he wouldn't let me get off the couch. And he went to get socks for me to put on socks so that my feet wouldn't walk on my floor. So he was like very calculated and meticulous
about it,
I don't know about other people with foot fetishes, but it's actually very common, Jess.
The foot fetish?
Yeah, and my friend told me the science behind it.
Yeah, on the brain, how it's like near something.
So you know how some, I don't want to, this isn't just for hetero men, but like I only have experiences hetero men, and they obviously stereotypically are into ass and boobs.
Yeah.
So I guess someone with a foot fetish, the wire just gets crossed, and the foot is like an ass or a boob, and the soul apparently is like seeing a vagina. I guess I don't know.
Dude,
I had no idea.
The fact that there's actual science behind it. I think I watched a video that was talking about it and like where the ass and boobs
No way.
Since
Will
you're
you
talking
send
about
it
that.
to me?
This was years ago, but let me go find it real quick because
Please find
the
it.
foot is literally here. It's like ass, boob, foot. And so sometimes that's how the
that's
wires
really
just get
cool.
crossed. Us talking about this as if
No,
we're,
but it's
we know
actually
anything.
relevant. I was going to tell you because
in Hamnet,
because I get hit up a lot for content, feet content. I've only ever, and I'm only telling you this exclusively.
Can't wait.
I've sold it once to one person. And me and my friend were kind of like, this is crazy. Like, why don't you just do
hell
it?
yeah.
And I don't know, a part of me is like kind of sad because I'm like, I've always wanted my own show. I want to create the next, your next guest needs no introduction, like Letterman. I want to be doing live conversations on stages.
Yeah.
Shooting it then for YouTube and social. But like, I like live. I want people in the audience.
I love live.
I want to do the future of talk shows, But I'm trying to like figure out a way to fund it, and people are like, sell your feet pics. And the reason why I think this is relevant is I'm a woman and I'm in the industry, and I do think there is this thing where I'm like, I don't think I could fully do that even, because I don't think I would be as respected in some of the spaces where I get hired. And it's like something that's kind of shitty too. But in a way, right? Because we're like progressive. We're like, it's just your body. I should be able to do what I want with my body.
Yeah, and I think the industry is becoming more and more accepting of it. But the fact that you're saying this and you're like, you're being so serious. You're like, I literally want to fund something that I fully care about.
That I really want to make happen.
And you can make mad money from doing this shit.
I mean, I look at like, I mean, I'm sure you think about it sometimes where you see women on OnlyFans where they have like $1 million homes in the hills.
Yeah.
And I'm like, just trying to, you know, keep my society, what society would call dignity, by not doing that. And I'm, you know, looking for the next gig. Like,
but I think a lot of that, the
it's
thought
wild.
process comes from being someone who studied communication in college.
Yeah.
It literally goes back to then.
I think
and
it
you
does.
Were talking
it's
about
socialized. And I grew up Catholic. My parents named me Nazareth after Jesus of Nazareth. So there's a lot of my own internal blocks there. It's not like I can't do whatever I want. But you do have to parlay and think about the brands and people that are hiring me.
Yeah, absolutely.
And are paying for my rent, you know?
Yeah, and I'm trying to think about people who are successful today in the, let's say, like acting and hosting space. I mean, someone like a Pamela Anderson, where I feel like she had so much criticism for her, what she has gone through in the past.
It's great just for her body.
Just for her body.
It's insane. It's insane.
But at least...
No wonder she's not wearing makeup anymore. She's like, fuck everyone.
And I actually love it. And I think she looks
I love
beautiful.
makeup.
I do too.
She looks stunning no matter what. I would just love, is this mic like...
Wait, what's happening?
There we go. I would, you know, Pam never has to wear makeup again. And what I say literally doesn't matter. But I would love to see Pam with a 90s manicure and like just done up and like her thin eyebrow. Like she's just so... That canvas.
We just like
too
throw
good.
it back for us.
She's the best canvas ever.
I know.
She's the best face card.
Yeah, that's why I'm like, I love that she's doing this, because hardly anyone else is. Maybe like an Emma Watson really isn't. She might be one of the only other people who's doing that right now.
I mean, it's coming from a girl who's wearing sunglasses because I have no glam
we're
on
hiding
today.
over here. My hair fried, hasn't been washed since before the Oscars.
You look
it's fine.
incredible.
We're exhausted. We're powering through it. But it's such a conversation for women, because we never talk about this with guys, you know.
Totally.
I also think it's such a backhanded compliment when people will see photos of Emma Watson and be like, oh, she's aging gracefully. And I'm like, she is 35.
I know.
Shut up.
Like, we're so young.
We're so young.
40 really is the new 20. Everyone is
Isn't that
looking
wild?
Incredible. I mean, people can't stop talking about Anne Hathaway. I know we were talking about Oscars and then we left. So to go back to Oscars.
That moment, The Devil Wears Prada.
Oh my God, did you love that? I didn't get to talk about it on TV.
Let's talk about it now, because was that not the best moment?
Tell me all your thoughts. Yeah, when she came out with Anna Wintour, I thought that was so genius in terms of marketing instead of having her come out with Meryl.
It was brilliant.
It was brilliant.
Okay, for me, and I don't know exactly. Wait, I'm over here taking my glasses off. No, leave them on for the rest of the show. That's right. Especially while we're talking about Anna Wintour, I have to keep the glasses on.
Yeah,
so I see Anna Wintour come out, and I'm freaking out. And then I notice she's like this the whole time as they're presenting. And I'm like, is she nervous? What's going on? She would not stop moving her head as Anne was talking.
Interesting.
But then I realized, so she's like judging people's looks, and that's what was going on.
No way. But as a bit or like for real?
As a bit.
Oh, got it.
It was
that's why, because she was like, what do you think of my look? And she's like, and the nominees are.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So then it made sense. I thought she was actually one of the funniest parts of the entire show, of like the 3.5 hour show.
Oh my God. The Oscars was very boring this year, I will say. I can't say it on TV, but I can say it here.
You can say it here.
And I remember sitting down for after party and I was like, oh my God, what are we going to talk about?
Yeah.
And we made a show, an 1.5 hour live show out of that. And it's like, and it was a great show actually. But yeah, Anna was such a good moment.
I think she really was one of the best.
Yeah. Do you think that she got paid from the Devil Wears Prada marketing?
It's Disney, right?
It's
Devil Wears Prada
20th Century Fox, technically, which is Disney. Yes.
So I think she did get paid still, yeah. And I also think she's for sure gonna make a cameo, right?
That would be sick if she made a cameo. I'm a
She
little
has
worried.
to.
I'm very excited. It's one of my most highly anticipated films of the year.
Yes, same.
But the marketing has been insane that I'm nervous it's going to be like a
Cheesy.
commercial. Do you know what I mean? Where I'm like, oh my God, like every commercial is like a Devil Wears Prada lip gloss. And like, they're kind of doing what Wicked did.
Yeah.
But I just hope it's like as good as the first Wicked was.
Right.
To justify all of this product placement and commercialism, you know, around it.
Yeah, I'm nervous. Did you see people saying that they hope that they're filming fake scenes because some of the scenes that they were showing us just came across as so cheesy?
I hope so too, because that happens a lot in Hollywood where we see a lot of scenes in the trailer that actually aren't in the film.
Yeah.
I pray to God that is what's happening here, because when the first trailer came out, you know, Miranda, she wasn't mean enough for me. And she was very much like, who are you? And I'm like, come on, you remember Andrea.
Yeah, don't
like,
give me that.
Like, we need you guys to know each other in
Emily.
order for there. Yeah. So I hope that was like a fake trailer bit and not in the movie.
Yeah, I
You
guess we'll just have to
Yeah,
see.
I hope it's good. I think
I'm
it'll
so
be
really
really good. It's
excited.
going to crush at the box office.
For sure. That's
Yeah.
one sequel where I'm like, absolutely, yes, we've been dying for
100%.
this moment. And then the bridesmaids moment.
Did you like it? I thought it would have
Wasn't
been
funny.
way funnier. It wasn't, and I couldn't say that on TV.
What are you doing?
I just thought they were reading notes, and I was like, what my dream bridesmaids reunion would have been just Rose Byrne and just Kristen Wiig, who a lot of people forget co-wrote
Duh.
Bridesmaids.
Yes.
And them doing
The bit.
The bit.
Hello.
You know?
Yeah, but
Yeah, like that's what we wanted for a bridesmaids
And the
reunion.
second they walked out, I was like, oh my God, it's going to happen.
It's gonna happen.
And it didn't
And
happen.
it didn't happen.
And in the year of Rose Byrne,
In the year of Rose Byrne, like it would have showed off that Rose Byrne is such a versatile actress, comedic brilliance, for her to dominate drama and comedy in the
Yeah.
same way Melissa McCarthy, because Melissa McCarthy was up for supporting actress for Bridesmaids, which was crazy, and then also up for Can You Forgive Me? So she has 2 Academy Award nominations for a comedy and a drama, and I think Rose is the same type of
Yeah.
thing, you know, she's that talented.
yeah, watching her in If I Had Legs, I was actually
Oh my God, isn't
Wow.
that crazy?
thrown off. I was tripping out over that.
You know that she had to act opposite puppets to maintain the surreal logic of the film, and it was like a 27-day shoot straight, which is very short,
Yeah.
in Montauk, New York, and she had a camera in her face this close the entire
The
time. Imagine
whole
27 days filming with puppets and having a camera in your face the whole time. She could have won.
Okay, so I didn't watch that film until super late.
Super late.
Last week.
Yeah, that was one of those movies where people were like, okay, I got to watch The Secret Agent.
Literally
Like,
those 2
yeah,
last
The
week.
Secret Agent. If I Had Legs, like, I was the same way, to be
Yeah.
honest. Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
it's hard to find the time with everything going on. But
Right.
yeah, once you watched it, weren't you sitting there being like, okay, actually, there's a little bit of a...
insane.
It could go to her. It could go to Jessie.
Yeah.
But the whole year it went to... Or the whole...
Yeah, the
Oscar
thing is, the
season went-
Oscars has surprised. I remember when Glenn Close won for The Wife. It was like The Wife, Golden Globes, The Wife, the Actors Awards, SAG, The Wife, like BAFTAs. And then the Oscars, Olivia Colman won for The Favorite. And it was like such a massive
when that shit
upset.
happens, yeah.
And so to me, you just really never know with the Academy, which is what makes it really fun to watch.
Yeah, aside from this year, we really knew. But you said
No,
you
I
thought
think all of
Timothy.
them were neck and neck. I really feel bad for Timothee Chalamet because
That's
I think the opera ballet comment,
You
I
think, it
think-
was taken out of context? Or
I
what?
think it was taken out of context.
Oh my God.
I think-
Naz, this
I
is
know,
so
this is, like, gonna
interesting.
go viral.
I want to hear it.
I do think a little bit of what Timothee Chalamet said in terms of the opera and ballet comments, I think it landed in a way that he didn't think it was going to land.
Yeah.
I think what he meant to say is that, like, he doesn't feel like compared to movies, a lot of people venerate the ballet and opera as much as they do movies. And if you're in the movie world, some people might think that. But obviously, if you're in the arts, like, that is your whole world, and you know that that's absolutely not true. But he said the interview clip went viral after Academy voting had closed. So I really thought that Timmy was almost going to win it. But that's what sucks about campaigning is that, like, it is a campaign, and sometimes you can say too much. I remember Michelle Yeoh right before the Oscars. I think the night before the Oscars, she reposted a Vogue article about how most Best Actress winners aren't women of color.
Oh, yeah.
And people were, like, pissed about it. you know, and it was right at the finish line. It's like
Yeah.
almost like everyone should just shut up right at the finish line. Do
Literally,
you know what I
just
mean? But she
throw your
still
phone
won
out.
for Everything Everywhere All
Yeah.
at Once. And again, I think there was like a little truth to what she was kind of saying, right? Like there
Yeah.
aren't a lot of women of color, but it's like for some reason these things just don't land well when you're everywhere. Oversaturation is a thing. That's why Pedro
Absolutely.
Pascal went like back into hiding. I feel
I
like.
know, we haven't seen this man.
We haven't seen him
His
since the
mustache,
Oscars without a
hello?
mustache.
Where'd it go? Yeah, I think if Timmy would have stopped once he mentioned the 14 cents thing, I was like,
What was that?
okay, so at the end of his little speech to
Yeah.
Matthew McConaughey,
Yeah.
when he's like, you know, it's I don't want it to be like ballet and the opera, right? You know, oh, there goes 14 cents in viewership. So that's where I'm like,
That's where it, yeah.
you actually meant to be mean when you said that to me, or
Right.
Timmy's just not funny.
Like you can't backtrack
And-
from that is what you're saying.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think that's where it went from being factual. If you're trying to say like, oh, I want movies to become relevant, I want people to go to the theater for it, and I don't want
Yeah.
them to think they're boring
Right.
or old school or too traditional. I want them to realize like how cool it is.
Right.
But once you're like shoving the knife in and twisting it by throwing shade again and doubling down and saying, oh, there's only a few
Yeah,
people
no,
who
you're
like
right.
it.
I can't argue with that one. Like
That
that's just
part.
not gonna land well.
Not an artist attacking another artist or another form of art.
I know.
That's where it's mean.
weird. I know.
But it's definitely. I was shocked
Come
by
on,
how
Timmy.
much people ran with it. Myself being one of them. I was like, holy
I think
shit.
well, when you're up for one of the biggest awards at the Oscars, all eyes are on you. You have a spotlight on you. Timmy has time. You know, like the Oscars historically don't give awards out to young men.
Yeah.
Like, and Michael B. Jordan's obviously,
He's
I
like
think,
35,
35.
38,
Timmy
somewhere over there.
is the youngest actor since Marlon Brando to be nominated for Best Actor 3 times. But, I mean, when you think of his performances, they have been insane recently.
really
He
have.
really is such a massive actor in terms of getting people to theaters. Talk about things that
Yeah.
are dying. It's like,
He's bringing them in.
he is
really
bringing people to see Dune, to see Wonka, to see A Complete Unknown. You know what I mean? Like Jeremy Allen White did Bruce Springsteen, and a lot of people didn't talk about that film. Like
No.
Timmy gets people in seats.
Yeah,
And so I'm
butts in
sure that
seats.
was heartbreaking for him. And I just hope it's not like Leo where he has to like fight a bear in the next 30 years and then he finally gets his Best Actor award.
Oh my
You know
God.
what I mean?
Isn't that crazy to think about that? We're living through what could potentially be watching Timothy going through all of this. Like
Yeah.
he's just put on such a great performance in some of these films. He could be
At
living
such a
through
young
what
age.
Leonardo DiCaprio
Yeah,
lived through.
but it's also like as most people, I think Timmy really wants it. I think that was like really clear in the Marty
Yeah.
Supreme marketing campaign. But I think there's a lot of actors who are like, this doesn't matter to me. You know, it's like just an award, and I'm gonna be like,
I
for
don't
example,
get
for
that
Paul
thought.
Thomas Anderson. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah,
Scorsese, Coogler to have made Sinners,
Yeah.
and not won Best Picture or Best Director. Like you can't be in it for that. And the Academy, it's such a thing. You know,
Yeah. And then here we go though. We're already like beginning.
award season again.
Yeah. It's
Yeah.
so trippy to think about. We literally will get like maybe a week off and then
I start again.
And
I
then we
hope
have to
Ryan. I
focus
haven't
again.
even seen Project Hail Mary yet.
no, I'm done.
That's my most anticipated of the year in terms of like
Same.
non-sequels,
It's
right?
the
Like
only
Dune
book I'm reading
3.
this year.
Oh my God, sick because I love The Martian, and it's the same author who
Yep.
wrote The Martian.
Exactly.
But I hope Ryan Gosling wins Best Actor. I really wanted him to win for Ken.
I know,
Best
I want
Supporting.
him to
I really
come
wanted. I
back.
thought his performances. I think Ryan is like my favorite actor of all time. I was really heartbroken. I didn't get an interview with him for this movie.
Oh,
so
for the
that was like,
premiere?
yeah,
Or for the junkets or anything?
for
Yeah.
junket.
No.
I know it was really heartbreaking because this was like my favorite movie and like favorite actor, and I think that's where I'm kind of like. I have a lot of wins, and then those
Yeah.
are like you get rejected all the time.
No, I
There's
get that.
also a lot of losses.
I just got a rejection this morning for a carpet, but that's where it's like, at the end of the day, we live what people view as being like a glamorous life
Yeah.
with what we do for work.
Yeah.
But it's so mentally challenging. You know, you're constantly being rejected while also getting really great opportunities and like the pinnacle of your career
Yeah.
type of opportunities.
Yeah.
But yeah, it comes with a lot of L's that you're taking.
You
as
have
well,
to
so
have
it's a
no
hard part.
ego. You have to really believe in yourself. You
Yeah.
can't give up. And I'm so lucky to have these problems.
Mm-hmm.
I couldn't imagine myself doing anything else. I love the industry and I love contributing to it. I'm
Oh,
sure
yeah.
you do too. So it's like we choose our problems when we choose, if we have the privilege to choose our career path, and I did. So I'll take these issues and getting rejected from interviewing Ryan Gosling any day. You know what I mean? Over like being a news reporter in Waco, Texas, which I don't think I was cut out for. Yeah.
Absolutely. Yeah. You get to do something that you just love every single day. And I feel like seeing the videos that you've posted with Ryan, in my head, I just feel like he is personally going to reach out at one point.
Oh my God, like, I would cry. That would be
Naz?
my dream. I miss Ryan so much. Like he's really.
Is that like your number one?
I think he is, to be honest, because Ryan, you know, we're talking about Rose and Melissa McCarthy. Ryan can do comedy and do extremely heartfelt drama action, like Project Hail Mary. And Star Wars is my favorite franchise of all time. The fact that he's in this new Starfighter film, this new I just never have seen him miss. I've never watched him in something I didn't like. He can sing and do musicals in La La Land. Like, I think Ryan Gosling is just the best. And he's the nicest, kindest human. And
his relationship.
I love that he's with the Latina, obviously.
And like, him, when he speaks Spanish. And I'm just like, oh my God, I just love this man so much.
Who's your fave? Ryan's definitely, I think Ryan's probably my number one. In terms of who I've gotten to meet and interview.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah.
Who's my fave that I've actually interviewed? It might be... God, it's kind of hard to like rack through and remember everyone.
I know there's so many.
It might be George Clooney.
Wow, I've only interviewed Clooney once, so where'd you interview him for?
For The Boys in the Boat.
Oh, was that good? I never saw it.
I didn't see it either.
Wow.
But I covered the carpet.
I love that. How was Clooney?
He's
a tall glass of champagne, that man.
He's like so fine,
so charismatic.
So charismatic.
It's insane.
Like the second I started interviewing him though, I felt the nerves go away. It's one of those types of people, you know, where you're just like, this man's incredible. I love everything about it.
Yeah.
Him, and I see the allure. I understand why he has so much longevity to him.
Yeah. He's really good in Jay Kelly as an old washed-up Hollywood actor. He was obviously snubbed. He didn't get nominated at the Academy,
nominations, right?
Which was very Jay Kelly of him,
right?
But but yeah, I love that Clooney's still doing stuff.
I know.
Yeah,
I want him to
He's
keep
the
coming.
best.
But yeah, this award season was.
It was
just
wild,
felt like
but
a
it was
sprint, right?
It was, but it was really good because, and I said this, like 8 out of the 10 Best Picture nominees were like movies that people actually went to go see.
I was just thinking that last year.
I was just pissed Weapons didn't. Weapons was my favorite film of last year. And I was like, that's crazy. I'm so happy Amy Madigan won. That was my favorite. My favorite moment was the tribute to Rob Reiner, because when Harry Met Sally is my favorite film of all time. But Gladys and Weapons was so good. But the fact that F1 was up, Sinners, Marty Supreme.
Did you like F1?
I loved F1. I didn't think it was as good as Top Gun Maverick. Same director,
Yeah,
Joseph.
Top Gun Maverick was unreal to me.
But it made me really like F1. Apple spent $400 million in production on F1, which is insane.
I just thought there were moments of it. That's the hard part with the sports film, though, is it can be a little cheesy, and normally I like that. And I did leave the theater liking it, and then it sat with me, and I was like, okay, it was a little too cheesy for me.
Too cheesy for it. Did you like Top Gun Maverick?
Loved Top Gun Maverick.
Okay, Top Gun Maverick was amazing. That director, Joseph Kosinski, is now Michael B. Jordan, who just won Best Actor. He's going to be in the Miami Vice reboot coming out next year with Austin Butler, and I feel like that's going to be really good.
Who do you think is going to be Bond?
I think Jacob Elordi should be Bond. You don't think so?
You think an Aussie?
I do. Wait, is that like disrespectful for an Aussie and not a British?
Yeah.
Do you think, is Aaron Taylor Johnson British?
And he's one that's up for it. It's them two, Callum Turner.
Is Callum's British, right?
Callum's British.
I would like to see Callum or Jacob. Actually, Aaron Taylor Johnson is an incredible actor.
Yeah.
He's very
and
fine.
Attractive.
I interviewed him for Bullet Train. He's very action. He'd be incredible.
Yeah.
He's really good.
I feel like that's the top 3 right now, so we'll see how that ends up playing out.
Who do you want to be Bond?
I'm really struggling with those 3 because Callum, I can't fully picture him in this role.
I think it's because we haven't seen him really lead anything huge.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean he wouldn't be able to. I mean, look at Tom Holland in Spider-Man. People didn't really know Tom Holland, and he stepped in, and for him to carry the Spider-Man franchise, like, and half the MCU after Iron Man passed away, like, I could see that happening with Callum and James Bond. But I don't know, Jacob Elordi he has the height, he has the charisma. he has the swag. You need swag. Daniel Craig had swag. Sean Connery had swag. Pierce Brosnan had the most swag. You cannot have that role and not have swag. And at least all three of them do.
They all have that locked in. So at least we're like, okay, we're in good hands, whoever it ends up with.
When is that going to be announced?
I know. I think it's coming really soon because whenever Callum Turner's been asked about it, he's like, no comment.
Do you think Jacob wants to do it?
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think so.
Well, I think once you take on a role like that, that's what you're known for the rest of your life.
That's
so
true.
it's a hard decision to make.
Callum Turner, I
like
feel
Leo
definitely
wouldn't.
wants it.
Leonardo, an actor like Brad Pitt and Leonardo DiCaprio would not take a role like that.
Yeah, I see what you mean.
You know what I mean?
They want like all these different types of roles.
Like Leo and Brad have been genius in terms of selecting really incredible characters with incredible directors in different films.
Honestly, Aaron Taylor Johnson might be like the best pick.
You think? I love his relationship. Because I dated a younger guy once, and I love when younger guys date older women.
It's so funny.
It's so great.
Age of attraction.
Yes. Yes.
Oh my God. Okay, Naz, before I take any more of your time, thank you so much.
Oh my God.
But
Thanks for having me.
You have your course coming out next month?
Yes. So I shot a course, and it was really interesting because like years ago, again, in my ego, people were like, I need help like interviewing, and people would always ask you to get coffee, and I was like, I don't have time, you know?
Yeah.
And then when I wasn't working for that year and a half, a lot of my friends are like, everyone's starting a podcast. I'm starting a wellness podcast. I need your help. And I was a little like, I don't know if I want to share my secret, you know, like I like held it really close to my chest. And in all the inner work I've done, and in all like just the abundance mindset and how I love this industry and I want to help people, and I really actually love seeing people win, it just came through me. It was like, you know, when people say like a song just came through them, it was over winter break. I locked myself in my room, and I think I just connected with God and source in the universe, and they were like, write all this stuff down. And I was like, okay, none of this is mine. Like, I don't own anything. And it just came through me, and it's kind of like a video masterclass. It's called the Naz Perez Playbook, and this is volume 1, how to curate a killer interview. So in this course, which is 9 chapters video, I basically teach people about how I approach interviews with my energy, how to come up with really sick questions that no one's ever asked anyone before, how to memorize shit really quickly, how to research, how I do like my impeccable research, because ChatGPT isn't there yet. Like I would use Google Gemini, but like you're still going to have the best stuff where people are like, no one's ever asked you that before, or like those big moments. And those clips that have gone viral for me, I'm like kind of teaching people all the work I do to make those moments happen in volume 1, which I'm really excited to share. And it's for anyone, not just like people like you and I. It's like people that do panels, people that have any kind of podcast. If you're interviewing any type of person, not just a celebrity. And I toss to a bunch of examples of everything I'm explaining. Also, my secrets to follow-up questions, which I learned working on The Bachelor, like all that stuff is in there. So that's kind of my big thing right now. And then Nazflix is kind of this new live event that I've been bringing to life, which is me interviewing actors, politicians, musicians in front of live audiences. And you just have to follow me on Instagram for those, which is at Naz Perez.
I love it. I look forward to them every time. You're so great.
Thanks, Jess. Thanks for having me.
Dude,
this was so fun. We could talk forever.
No, literally, I'm like, I haven't looked down and I know we're over time.
No, it's totally fine.
Thank you so much for letting us be your plus one. I loved it.
And thanks for letting me wear my sunglasses. I'm sorry.
I know. Here we are,
people probably hate me. I probably came off like chalamet.
It's Charlie, baby. It's fine.
I love it.
You got the golden ticket.